Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hey everyone, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 317 for August 14th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
I'm Adriel Michaud.
And I'm the annoyed one.
Yep.
Always perpetually
Did I
annoyed.
say annoyed or annoying? Because I could do both. It's really, I'm Trevor. Hi, everybody.
It's what I do. I throw the ands in.
That's what I do. I'm the ander. I bring the and.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we talk about what we did in guns? What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer. Who put this thing in about K31 rack grade rifles?
That would be the frosty one.
The
That would be
frosty
me.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's explain it.
They got K31s.
Okay.
Great explanation.
All you
A
had
whole
was
floor full of them.
K31s with a
They got-
question
they
mark.
got like
So do they or
30
don't they?
K31s just sitting on the floor, waiting for someone to buy them off
So-
the floor.
Does that mean that they're floor grade, not rack grade?
They're on a showroom floor, so they're
Well, then they're showroom grade.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Floor.
They have more K31s than I have.
Are they literally on the floor though?
They're literally on the floor in the photograph. Yes.
I don't know. Okay. We also have another thing added to it as well. There's the third annual Beretta Days on September 14th. That is a month from today, actually. So prizes and sales and details and everything are coming in the days to follow. So if you want to check out, Gun Nuts, and go out and check out Calgary Shooting Center, they'll have all the information about it. So prizes, sales, etc. That's going to be happening on September 14th. You guys should go. Well,
Yeah. I'll hop on the Slamfire jet and head right out there.
I'm talking to our listeners, those that are in the Calgary area.
Oh, like
But-
when you said you guys were doing a
Trevor,
podcast together.
you should go. And
You should go with me.
Adriel,
together,
yeah,
it'll be
why don't
fun.
we go? Yeah. Adriel, why don't you go? You're closer than all of us.
Oh, where now? Calgary?
Calgary.
Go where? What are we doing? Who are you? Where am I? What's happening?
We're doing a podcast.
That's the effects
We're-
of age, I think. Yeah.
We're talking about the Calgary Shooting Center. We're talking
Go there
about
for Beretta Days?
Beretta Days on September 14th. You're the closest. Why don't you go?
You could go and shoot that Striker Fire Beretta.
I
pistol
mean,
thing.
I'm too young for like Die Hard and wanting to be John McClane, so I'm not really into Beretta pistols that much.
Shut up. You're not too young for Die Hard.
No one's too young for Die Hard. You take that back. This is the coolest pistol ever.
Neat.
I'm gonna hold this for the
That's
rest
an
of the show.
antique these days, right?
Oh,
Is it-
shut
Listen, there's only one thing on this show that's mid-century. and
That's
it's not
Trevor.
Nope, Kelly, I'm afraid not.
Yeah,
How do
whatever.
you get this stupid lock off?
Mm,
Oh, there we go.
all right,
No zombies coming.
Trevor.
Yeah,
Why don't we talk about what we did in guns
K31s.
this week?
I'd love to talk about K31s. They're $630, and they say rack grade, but I mean, they're kind of all over the map from good to probably very good. If you're looking for a Schmidt K31, man, go look at the pictures on CGN, and there's a bit more information on their website. But $630, you can't go wrong. If you don't have one, it's a great way to get into that milsurp. You know, Adriel, if the ammo for these that was considered like match grade is still available, or am I thinking of a different Swiss rifle?
Oh man, like the time to get G11 ammo for the
Right.
K31s was when Wholesale Sports was going out of business and they were selling it for 30 cents a round.
Oh my goodness.
That was the time to get it because that ammo is excellent quality and they were selling it by the garbage full. You could have gotten a whole pile of that stuff for super, super cheap.
Wow.
Garbage bin
load?
full.
Garbage
Garbage bin?
I don't
Yeah.
know how you
Garbage bag
buy
full by the garbage
You
bag.
said garbage full.
He did say garbage full. As
cart
you know,
full. I think like you would take a shopping cart, roll it up, take all the ammo that the cart would hold, and then
Right.
buy that. Yeah.
I'd like to buy my ammo by the shopping cart. Actually, that's a great idea.
Why not a dump truck?
Ooh, what am I, rich over here?
Apparently.
No.
Okay. Are you ready to talk about what you did in guns this week?
I am. I
right.
had an amazing week. Man, since I got back from the Nationals, I've just been doing all kinds of stuff at the range, and none of it involved a hammer or a screw gun. It was wicked. I shot 2 matches in PCC back-to-back. We had a level 2 at my club on Friday night. Small match, 6 stages, whatever, 150-ish rounds. So that was a lot of fun. And I wanted to test fire the PCC since I got the squibs out and put back together and stuff. Other Trevor and I went to the range earlier in the day to zero them because I had taken my optics off. I wasn't sure if they were going to hold zero or not, especially the top one because I had no idea if I was putting it back on in the exact same slot. Anyway, didn't have to touch a thing. Both the optics were zeroed. The one on the 45, the Venom, or the Viper rather, there's only one place to put it on, so it was really cool. I put it back on the exact same location, and it held zero perfectly. The Crossfire 2 on top, I just got lucky, put it in the exact same spot. It held zero perfectly, so that was cool. And then Trevor had Neotech on his, so he got his PC sighted in, and he had to work that night, so I ran him through the match ahead of time. So it's almost like he got a bit of a pre-shoot or pre-match in, and he shot it in PCC as well. So that was really cool. He had some, his first time running the gun, and the gun had a hiccup or two here or there. I don't think the mags that I gave him were the best. I gave him some Korean big sticks, and I think that the feed lips need to be tuned again because I think they're really soft, cheap metal, and they go out of tune because he was having some double feeds. So I think we can blame the mags for that. And then, after the match was done, Muffin showed up, and he shot the match in production optics. And I had never shot a production optics gun before. So when the match was done, he let me shoot our last stage that we had just shot with his production optics gun. So I did it in like 21 seconds with my PCC. And when I took his production optics gun, which is my old FNS 9 long slide, he put a Vortex Venom on it. Man, I love me some production optics. I blasted through that stage in 17 seconds, 100% alpha. I had a hit factor of like 7 or something. It was crazy. I need to buy my other FNS back that I got from Adrio from the shop and put a red dot on it. It's so much fun. I sighted in my 4570. Well, this was exciting. So 4570's got some snap. I don't know if you're all familiar with that cartridge, and it's shoots a bullet the size of my thumb. And it's got some thump. I got to tell you, like I truly do believe it could kill a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I do.
Kind of like getting hit in the shoulder with like a baseball bat. Like
yeah. So you think you're good, right? Like you shoot the first one, damn, that's not so bad. You shoot the next one, still great, no problem. You shoot the third one, like I'm a tough guy. That's what's going on here. 4570 ain't got nothing. I'm tough. This is nothing. You shoot the fourth one, and it slaps you and reminds you that you're actually a pansy, and you're now crying. Like first 3, no problem. False sense of security. Fourth one, wham! I'm actually bruised. I'm actually bruised on my shoulder, and I am a lot lesser of a man than I thought I was. I shot there's 20 rounds in the box. I shot 16. Done. Good. In 2 different sessions. It was like I shot some, got it zeroed. Went to the back of the range to do some pistol stuff. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure I could improve on that zero. I think a couple of clicks to the left, maybe I can pull that group over a little bit. So I'm going to stop one more time. And I shot a few more rounds. And sure enough, I was able to move the group into the center a bit more than it was. But yeah, not a gun I'm going to shoot every day. You know what I'm saying? It's loco. Whoop me around.
Yeah,
made
one
me
of
feel
those
like
ones that you'll shoot on a lead sled when you're sighting it in.
Yeah,
you just
for real.
Take one shot at your bear or whatever and call it a day.
No, I'm not. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. I took, I'd shoot 3, and I was like, oh, this ain't so bad. And the fourth one's like, nope, you're a pansy. You just forgot you were a pansy, and the 4570 is here to remind you that. So Saturday I just did rifle stuff. Sunday I went to a level 2 match in the Miramichi, and it was excellent. It was 9 stages, which is I think just the right number for that range. The stages were true IPSC, true freestyle. They were fun. They were challenging. There was a good balance. There was one stage. There was 3 stages. 3. I can't remember if they broke it into 3 smalls and then 1 medium and 1 large. But anyway, it was all steel. One section had a piece of paper, but it was poppers and plates, and it was so much fun with the PCC. The videos are on Instagram. You should definitely go check them out. PCC with a red dot on steel poppers is like cheating. It really is. You got no recoil. You got a red dot, and it's just as fast as you can pull the trigger, the plates fall. And there's peanut gallery commentary in the background of my videos. It's kind of hilarious. You should listen. It's not even fair. Someone was saying. That's good. And then I sorted out the rear sight issue that I had on my Grand and my M1. You, Adriel, and maybe somebody else tipped me off that I was tightening the wrong screw. The screw that I was tightening is actually like a turret cap on a scope, where you can remove the screw, turn the turret cap back to 0. Well, you do the same with the M1 Garand sight. You calibrate it. So you sight it in at 100 or 200, and then you rotate the elevation knob to 0 it at 100 or 200 to coincide with the marks. And then it's a graduated dial. So you 0 it at 100, and then you click it to 200 and click it to 300 and so on. And I think it goes all the way up to 1100. So when I tighten the screw on the other side, that really increased the tension on the clicks, and it would stop moving. So I zeroed the M1 Garand. It was stupid windy, so I have to go back, especially with the Grand. The front sight is a dovetail, and I put the rear sight in the middle, and like where the 0 would be for the windage, and took Allen keys with me and actually drifted the front sight post. And it's unfortunately all the way to the right side of the dovetail and locked down on that side. So it doesn't look centered. It kind of looks goofy, but I'd still rather get a coarse 0 with the front sight and then do micro adjustments with the back. The M14 is, I'm very, 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 very happy with it. It runs reliably, and it's more accurate than I am with iron sights, but it will hold with cheap Norinco ammo like 2 inches at 100, maybe even a little bit better with iron sights and cheap steel case Norinco ammo. Like, I could not be happier with that gun. It has an actual Springfield M14 stock on it. It's got the cartouche on it, something that Filthy gave me one time when I was visiting him. So, you know, it looks more M14 than Chinesium M305, and it works. It's accurate. I just, man, love it. So, and then I picked up some Ely Force 22 ammo for my 1022 that I'm going to use for the Outlaw Rimfire Precision series. This stuff is like 42 grains, and it's almost 1,300 feet per second. So I zeroed my 22 tonight before the show with Joey from the gun shop. We zeroed them at 50 yards. He's got a really cool Savage Mark II in an MDT chassis. It's really nice, and he's got, hey, guess what he's got for a scope, Adriel?
Vortex
Diamondback
Tactical 4-16.
You don't say.
Oh.
And it's literally the perfect scope for this game. Like, I really need to get one, and I am going to. Yours. So anyway, we zeroed our rifles with this Ely Force ammo. I kind of regret not cleaning it first. I'd almost like to foul the barrel in over again with this stuff, but I'll do that eventually. It's still shot well enough. I forgot to take some pictures, but you know, I don't think it's any more accurate, Kelly, than my standard Velocity CCI ammo.
Right.
But regardless, it's more appropriate for the game I'm going to be playing.
Right.
All right. So we get to the we zero at 50. We get to the bench, and like Rain Man, Joey does some real quick math and goes 32 clicks. That's what you're going to want, 32 clicks. I'm like, all right. So I go 32 clicks, and next thing you know, I'm hitting the 2-inch steel plate out at 100, shot after shot after shot. But then he sent me a picture. I shot it and knocked it off of the stand. So every one of those shots were mine, and he had painted it red. So he sent me a picture of the plate, and they were all really high. Like on the hanger itself, there's like one, here's the picture.
Oh, okay.
right? See how high I was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were actually almost on the hanger itself.
Exactly.
Except
There's
for the
only-
plate.
Right? There's one full diameter impact at the top of the plate. So I thought I was plus 32 at 100, but I'm going to knock it back to plus 30.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so, well, you might even want to go less. Like 32 is 8 inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're shooting high velocity ammo?
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe less is better. Maybe maybe instead of an 8-inch drop, you're looking at like 7.5 or so.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'll go back out and actually print some groups on paper with plus 30 clicks and see what that does. And maybe I end up like 28 clicks or something. So yeah, that's what I did.
Awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
When is
first-
the match?
the 28th?
28. Okay.
I got to get through. I got Nova Scotia Provincials this weekend, and then heading to Cape Breton, Christina and I, to hang out with Captain Andy and his wife. That'll be awesome. And after that, it's immediately back to school, back to work. And Muffin is putting on a 3-gun match at our club, and then it's our provincial, and then quickly tear down the range and start teaching black badges. I got a black badge somewhere in New Brunswick every weekend in October.
And then winter hits.
Yeah, and then I
You get
start.
snowed in.
Yeah, well, then I switch over to teaching the CCFR RSO course and IPSC RO and CRO courses.
Okay. All right. Adriel, you're up.
All right. I shot a 3-gun match.
You
That was on
did.
Saturday. Yep.
How'd you do?
Good. I got first in limited.
Sweet.
A guy in Tech Ops beat me. He's a Taylor. He's a good shooter. I think I was feeling a little bit off him all day.
Okay.
And I think just wasn't putting in 100%. I was doing like 95% most of the day. And
Maximum effort.
maximum, yeah, I should have went maximum effort. It was still all right. By the end, it was a long day. Our stage timings weren't good, and it went way too long. So by the end of the day, when I was shooting at the end of the day, it's like, man, this is too long. That was fun though. It was like one of the things I liked about this match was, and I think this is something that's fairly unique in terms of 3-gun, is that we always have like a lot of long range these days. So we had and with this one we're shooting offhand from behind a wall on the right and left side of the wall at some targets that were kind of a tight shot around it, and these targets were 250 kind of a thing.
Oh, cool.
So standing, bracing on a wall, and firing around it, which was really interesting. And one of the shots you couldn't even brace around the wall. You had to like really pull out to the side of it and make this really long shot at 250. So really interesting shooting for that, and that stuff's really fun. My pistol shooting was slops. Oh man, like I haven't shot a pistol in a while, and it showed. Like I was just all over the place and just hammering the trigger rather than taking my time and aiming. And in my later stages for the day, I actually aimed, and it's like, oh, I hit everything with one shot. Well, I should just do that this whole time. Why am I just throwing bullets down range? Yeah, it was fun. Let's see here. I am making a whole bunch more maple seed slings. I got in a big band of like 50 yards of material, and I cut all that up and sewed it all.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff with it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Are you? It's like, so it's Adriel's sweatshop, is it?
Mhm.
Making slings.
Yeah. I got my
got-
kids to do some of it, but
Oh.
mostly me. Yeah.
I got to show Joey how to set up his maple seed sling today. It was on the rifle, almost correct. I got him to take that clip part off the bottom of the sling and just attach it right to the sling swivel directly. That's just a personal preference. I don't think it's a question of right or wrong, is it?
Well, like on the bottom, if you want to do a loop sling, you got to like pull that bottom part off. So if you
Right,
leave the
yeah.
J hook there, then it's easy to take on and off.
So what type of sling does he have?
It's like what we use. It's basically USGI.
So leave the whatever it is, whether it's a quick disconnect, if he's going to be using that, or the J hook or whatever.
Yeah, well, he's got quick disconnect swivels, so I got rid of the J hook and put it right on the quick disconnect swivel.
Oh, so
okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he can take those off anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I showed him how to do a hasty and how to hook it onto your arm and then hook it to the front if you're going to go prone or kneeling or seated. I can never remember how to get the buckle configuration quite right. It didn't feel right, and I'm pretty sure I had it wrong. But anyway,
I've got a video that I'm working on that is going to show like from like 100% correct on the sling, so that there's not even one little thing wrong.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, because like I don't know, it's different ways to do it wrong or not quite the right, or ways that won't let you adjust it very easily. I did like a draft version of that video already. Now I'm just going to do like final version.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I ordered. I'm getting new hardware in every day straight from China. Some of that's different stuff, and I'm making slings by the dozen. So we'll be shipping those out across Canada to the different.
Oh, there's so many jokes right now about your children making these slings that I would just decide not to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll sweat them
We're just
anyways,
going to leave
'cause
that
they're
right
my
You
kids.
said
there.
it. You said it. I didn't say it. You said you took it from me.
Yeah. Let's see here. I was on Discord and someone was mentioning that SFRC had these 8.5-inch barrels, NEA barrels for $125, and they were like
The dimpled ones.
Yeah, dimpled ones. And SFRC already also had 10 or 15%. They had 10 or 15% off. So I'm like,
15 is what they're running right now.
Yep, this is happening. So I ordered an 8.5-inch barrel for my AR.
Sweet.
I'm going
Now-
to try to do like a shorty upper on the cheap. So like I've got a Chinese handguard from like AliExpress and it's too long. And I'm going to chop saw that thing at 7 inches or so. I'm going to sand
Like
it a little
this?
bit. Wait. No,
Like-
because it's not going to be like a Colt
Oh, you don't
Commando
need
wannabe.
Yeah. But you're talking this length barrel.
Yeah.
Now, see, this, I mean, I did this one on the cheap too. This barrel was not much more than what you're saying. But it's 7.5. And is there an 8.5 gas tube?
No, there's
Like, basically, it's like,
there's a gas tube that matches that pistol length, and it's just the barrel's 8.5 inches long.
but the gas system is still pistol length. Roger that. Okay. It'll use the same gas tube as this because we're the,
Yep.
okay. Yep.
Maybe a little bit more dwell time or whatever on it.
Yeah. You won't get quite the cannonball flame.
I'll still get the cannonball
Fireballs.
flame. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, still gonna get that. I'm actually going to get a brake that'll encourage that. I'm gonna get like a regular brake
What are
with
you
like
getting?
a 3-port, and then I'm gonna take all those middle ports out, so it's just one big port in there.
Port.
Yeah, which should put all the unburnt powder and burning powder out to the sides and just make a nice.
That's nasty. Muffin. It's like Muffin. He's got a Mark 18, and he put a comp on it. Like, you don't want to follow him into the bus on our range with that thing. Like, triple plug.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually think that the 10s and the 12s are louder than the 8s and the 7s. The 8s and the 7s, like, they haven't burned all that powder in that barrel.
True.
A lot of
Yep.
it's burning on the outside where it's not going to be as loud. And I find with the 8s and the 7s, the 8 and 7-inch barrels, with those ones, it's more of a woof where it's like burning outside,
Yeah.
and less of a really loud crack. Those like a 10 or a 12, the more of it's burning. You use a brake on there, they're loud.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Anyways, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make one of those. I might even run it in 3-gun if it's reliable.
Because not enough people hate you.
Yes.
Well, and because if it's a short range of fire, no problem. If I'm shooting out to like 400, I don't know if I
You
want to
probably want a longer barrel.
maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
So if you have this ball of fire that's coming out the side, it's a good thing you have no hair. But you have facial hair.
It's funny if you look at video of someone shooting like a 10 or shorter, there's a decent fireball that'll be covering your hand as that gun is firing, and you can feel the heat with like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
It doesn't burn any hair though. At least it hasn't burned any hair for me yet. Gunwood.
I'm waiting for the video.
That's gonna be an awesome video. I can do 1080p 1000 frames a second with my camera. I'll do that. That'll look sweet.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Send it to us.
I'll post.
Yeah, when you light yourself on fire, please share it with the internet.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't want to definitely don't want to be like firing low down with like dry tinder.
Yeah.
And then I got a maple seed rifle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
No, this isn't a maple seed rifle. Not
You
not
didn't.
the best. No, this is borrowed. So this is a listener of the show and guy I know near Edmonton here. And he's MP40.
He did not borrow you one of anything.
I just love it. I just love
He
it.
loaned you that rifle.
This
Now, you're
rifle's on
saying it.
loan.
You say he lent it to me.
Irregardless.
Irregardless.
Oh, stop it. All right. So how much of that is plastic? Is it as cheap as it looks?
No, this is heavy. This is real heavy.
it?
There's a lot of metal on this. Yeah, this is not like their Scar clone is mostly plastic. This is like got some heft to it. I think this is basically the same weight as one of the real ones.
Wow.
Here, you wanna live
Scale?
on show like fish scale weight of this thing?
Sure.
3.5 kg.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like 1.5 pounds, something like that. I don't know how to do the translation. Anyways, looks neat. Looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So
You're gonna review it?
yeah, I'm gonna review it. It's a funny thing. I looked online for reviews on this and for that straight pull ISSC. There's nothing.
Hmm.
So I'll put something out there. It won't be the best review, but it'll be the only review. I think that's it for me. Yep.
That's it for you?
Mhm.
Okay. What I did in guns this week on Sunday? Saturday I went up to Ottawa. There was going to be a Ladies' Day at EOSC on this Sunday. Well, there was actually a Ladies' Day on Sunday, but I went up on Saturday because we had a little bit of a gunny night get together at Tracy Wilson's place. So it was Tracy, Kelly, Colin, Greg,
I'm sure
Lori,
that was very
Lynn, and
tame.
Kyle. It was a good get together. Yes, it was.
We got one of those scheduled for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of the show is turning 40 tomorrow. Lordy, look who's 40.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Wait, yes.
Yes.
The keto is going out the window, and I'm not saying I'm going to throw up in his kitchen sink, but I'm probably going to throw up in his bathroom sink.
Okay. Are you going to tell us who it is?
Oh, they're Trevor.
Oh, they're Trevor.
Yeah.
Hi, he's watching too. Hi, better Trevor. Yeah.
Could you just say happy birthday to him? Do you have to like?
Well, we'll tell him happy birthday later in the shoutouts then.
All right, fine.
Okay. But watch your toilet and your bathroom sink and your bathtub in case Trevor throws up in it. Okay. So yeah, we went up on Saturday, had a really, really good time, get together Saturday night, drank a little bit of red wine. A lot of red wine.
Thank you for coming clean.
Yeah, stayed up till 2 a.m., got up at 6 so that we could get to the range. The range was, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. EOSC is about 45 minutes from Tracy's place, and the problem is that they shut down the highway to get there, so we had to go back roads. It was awesome.
Oh, man. Well, hungover.
With a wine hangover, not just a hangover, a wine
hangover. Yeah, that's.
It was good. So we got to EOSC. We were able to set everything up. 80 women had signed up. Actually, 75 had signed up, but we had a couple extras. So 80 women got to shoot, and all of these women were basically women who have not shot before. There was a couple that actually have shot before and who have their pals, but they were bringing friends. So it's mostly people who have never shot before. It was probably the most well-run and well-planned Ladies' Day event I have ever been to. Wow. It was freaking awesome. All of the ladies had a really, really good time. And they got to shoot pistols, so different calibers. So the 22, 9mm, 45. They also got to shoot revolvers. They got to shoot 12-gauge shotguns, so both in semi and in pump, AR-15s, SKS, and also the Type 81. The IPSC club the IPSC people from the club this year, they decided that they were going to put on a demo for the ladies in the next bay over. So all the ladies got to shoot. Then they had some light refreshments and things like that. And then they went over and watched the demo. And then the ladies got to shoot a static stage of IPSC. So they got to shoot steel. And they had a blast. They just loved it because it's a little bit more interactive than just standing at a table and shooting. They were able to actually hit the steel and do get a little bit of instruction from this IPSC guys, and they had a fantastic time. The other thing that we added this year was we added a photo booth. So with, the feather boas and, different types of guns, but they all got a chance to hold these guns, take pictures, and the pictures are being sent to them as well. So they love that. They got swag bags.
It's a good idea because that will make it more likely that they're going to share those pictures on their social media and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So yeah, they had a really, really, really good time. Gave out a bunch of cards to people. A couple of ladies are saying that they would like to participate in the calendar as well. So we're by the way, with the calendar, we're in the process of selecting the ladies. So that's moving forward. Lots of work on that this week as well. After the ladies' day on Sunday, once all the ladies went away, all of everybody that was volunteers, we got a chance to shoot all the firearms. So I had a good time. I was able to shoot the Type 81. I wanted to shoot that because I hadn't shot it before. I've held it like half a dozen times, but I've never shot it. Got to shoot another 7-inch AR, by the way. It is a little noisy. Got a chance. I've shot 7-inch before, but anyways, the Daria.
not your first time around a 7.
No. Yeah, got to play with the Daria as well. I like that too. So,
do you prefer like a light and handy 7, or is like a bigger like 12 more your?
Okay, listen. There can't be 2 Trevors on the show, and if I'm not doing this, that means like, there's lines and stuff. But I applaud your efforts.
Yeah.
So Kelly, which one do you prefer? A 12 or a 7?
I prefer the 14-inch that I have downstairs.
Okay.
Okay. And that's about it with what I shot this week. You guys are horrible. I bought a new car. I bought a Tiguan. We call it the tactical Tiguan. But this thing is pimped out. You should see it. It's fantastic. I got gold, really gold rims on it. So I look.
How are they going to look when you've gone to the range and they're covered in dirt?
Tiguan.
They'll look fantastic.
Gold rims.
Yeah. So I thought it was kismet because every time we go anywhere and rent a vehicle for Maple Seed, they give us a Tiguan. So I went shopping for a car, wasn't looking for that. I looked at the Tiguan. I said, I'm not going to get that. I'm going to get something else. But the car that I wanted was actually already sold. So I bought the Tiguan.
What did you want?
I was looking to get a Ford Escape.
Yeah.
Shush. A Ford Escape. Yeah, just because I needed more of an SUV style and something that's trade.
Something that'll fit more guns in the back.
Yes, and something to pull the trailer as well. But it didn't. The one that I wanted was sold, and the Tiguan was there, and it had a trailer hitch, and I'd been shopping for cars for 3 weeks, and I was tired, so I said, the Tiguan it is. And I got it just in time. I got it on Friday night, so that I could go up to Tracy's place and load the back of it with all the targets for Maple Seed. Well, not all of them, some of them. But I filled the Tiguan with Maple Seed targets.
It's a ridiculous name.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about how it was made, but it was made. People actually, so it's a tiger and an iguana, and they put it together. I don't know how they came up with the name, but that's the one they picked. It was
I feel like you're
voted
making
on.
that up too. You're not making that up?
Totally not.
Tiguan, tiger, and iguana.
Yep. Go look it up. That's how it was.
Nope.
Right.
Okay. And that's it. That's how I picked my Tiguan because I figured it was kismet. It's black. Blacked out
Excellent.
windows, leather inside, all leather, by the way. 40-degree car, leather seats, and an ass on a leather seat. It's kind of hot. Okay. But it fits. It fits people, and it fits me, and it fits targets and Maple Seed crap in the back. So,
Neat.
and I can pull the trailer. That was my criteria. Guy asked me what I wanted. I said
Towing capacity.
towing capacity. That's it. He looked at me. Really? I said yes. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's all I did with guns. So why don't we move on to the next category? The next category is upcoming events.
Category?
Category.
Show segment.
section.
It's never been a category.
Whatever.
My OCD. My God, what are you doing to me?
But okay, so we're gonna get rid of the first couple of things because those have actually already happened. So Black Badge, why don't you tell us about that, Trevor?
IPSC New Brunswick is currently scheduling its fall black badge courses around the province. Some of the dates are set, some are to be announced. I have not heard back from Woodstock. I don't think they're going to be doing one. They've got enough with hosting our provincials. But I can tell you that there will be one in Restigouche. There will be one in the Miramichi. There will be one at Filthy's Range in Sunbury. Sunbury, thank you, in Tracy, New Brunswick. And there will be one in Hampton. Larry Shriver will put one on at the Thomaston Corner Range. The date to that one is yet to be announced, but I will be starting off the first weekend of October in Sunbury. And then I believe the next weekend is the next weekend is Restigouche, or the weekend after, and the weekend after that is Miramichi. I might have those two reversed. But anyway, if you're a New Brunswicker and you're interested in taking a black badge course, now is the time to register. The cost is $150 regardless where you take it. You can register by emailing ipscnewbrunswick@gmail.com, and I will personally reply and send you out all of the registration package and information.
Oh, it's nice of you.
Excellent.
Yes, it's my job. I mean, yes, it's very nice of me. I go out of my way for this.
Okay. Next category, next segment is news. Thank you, Trevor, for giving us that information about the black badge and news.
You're welcome.
Adriel, he just goes out of his way to do his job.
Yeah.
I give and give and give with no thought of myself always. Everyone knows that. No one knows that.
No one knows that. Trevor is one of my most favorite people. No, seriously, you are. Adriel, why don't you tell us about what you've placed here in the news?
Yeah, I'm not going to put it on the screen because it's got a swear word in it, and we are clean. This is a clean show. This is a post that was shared on Facebook from Global. And,
Global Montreal.
Yeah.
It's Global Montreal.
Yeah.
We've got more class than Global Montreal. We won't cuss like that.
Well, it says, guns only exist to kill. That's why they were invented. Gun lovers can F off. Get your thrills doing something else. And it was a share of the post. They chalked this up to a past social media manager that had still had access to their accounts.
I'm thinking it was a current that is now a past.
Potentially.
I
don't even know if they'd fire somebody over that. They'd be like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would fire someone over that. That's
oh yeah, you would, but this is Global Montreal.
Like your social media has to do that. Like they can have, like obviously they have those feelings personally. They feel that that's the way it should be. They have to make that distinction between work social media and personal social media.
Right.
Anyways,
unfortunately, but there's still, you got to admit, there's still a bias in the media.
You know, we should talk about that for our main topic.
For our main topic. Yes. Okay.
Do you want me to do the next one?
Yeah, polysolvent.
I can actually put this. I'm going to put this on screen for everyone else, but not for you guys because you'll have to figure it out yourself.
Okay.
This is the Police Souvient quoting. What's the Coukier's thing? Gun control.
You're talking about the one where Wendy said that gunnies make better mass shooters because they practice.
That was another one. Yeah, that was another one. This was a quote of that they make better mass shooters. It says the perpetrator of the Quebec Mosque massacre was a member of a gun club, and gun clubs can legally include active shooter type games, like in the video below. And they had a video of my buddy Logan doing a 3-gun stage on it and killing it, doing a great job on that stage.
Killing it, really? Those are the words you used right now?
Maybe the wrong
good for you.
Word. Yeah.
Well, no. Good for Logan.
Yeah, way to kill it, Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, active shooter type games. I'm not really sure that's what we're practicing or what the scenarios are built for. But that's their sense of what's going on.
Oh, I hope they never read IPSC General Principle number 5.
They probably won't. So, I think we're safe there. Yeah.
And then what they
is that principle, like don't shoot people? Is that in the rules as well? They have a rule for everything, it seems, in IPSC.
General Principle number 5 says that practical shooting competitions will be conducted using practical targets which reflect the general size and shape of such objects which may be reasonably called upon to be struck by a handgun in its original intended purpose. or use. I've paraphrased somewhat, but you get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when some guy in an RO course asked me one time, says, "Why does it have to represent a person? Why can't it just be a target?" Because I talk a lot about the P in IPSC, the word practical, and what it's supposed to mean and represent.
Yep.
And people say, "Oh, IPSC's not practical." Wrong. IPSC is practical. Certain match directors bring a certain flavor to their match and design stages to reflect their personal views and opinions on what a good stage is. And a lot of match directors steer away from the practical, and they want to use things like Texas Stars and plate racks and what I call gallery style targets, where you come to Reskush and you're seated behind the wheel of a bus, and there's a car on one side of the bus with targets all around it, and a car on the other side of the bus with targets all around it, and at the back you kick the back door open, and there's a truck and a gas pump, and you hit a popper, and a bad guy is popping out from behind the gas pump like it's providing cover for him. That's pretty practical. You're shooting paper targets that are in and around cars and in and around a truck and a gas pump.
Well, I wouldn't debate that they're practical scenario. I would debate whether they're like an active shooter scenario, because an active shooter scenario is training an active shooter, whereas these are it's a shootout. Your bus, there's a bunch of terrorists outside your bus or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're surrounded by bad guys, terrorists, zombies, whatever. You're right. No, we don't do the active shooter thing where we're pretending to go around and kill people.
Correct.
No, all of the original purpose of a handgun was defensive use.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Trudeau.
Yeah.
Trudeau.
Yeah. It's actually fantastic news. So one piece, not so fantastic. He has promised to make gun control a top election priority.
Well, he was saying that. He was saying that a while ago as well. So
but
it's not really.
Justin, buddy, the ship has sailed.
He's going to make it a platform issue, right? It's going to be in the platform.
The election's in how many days? 63 days? What do you mean you're going to make it an election platform issue? Shouldn't you have your election platform figured out by now? Shouldn't you already be campaigning on this stuff?
Yep.
We're going to be going to the polls in no time. What do you anyway, that's good. The inept, it's good. It's good that they're inept.
It's and it was nice that the timing was such that just got nailed on the report. The ethics commissioner just had a report. This is not gun related. I'll just throw it in here because obviously our obvious thing this year is that the Liberals are going to run on gun control as their platform. They're going to likely put something in there about banning assault weapons, and they are also corrupt and being controlled by SNC-Lavalin, and they got nailed on it. So that's like politics, but it's also good for us as gun owners. So
right.
Yeah. Now, and this is very timely, right? Because Canadians have very short memories, and so the scandal around SNC-Lavalin was a long time ago. So to have the commission, the ethics commissioner, I'm not sure if that's the correct title, but to have the report come out today that clearly states that Justin interfered with the Canadian judicial system and is in violation of
two
he has two code of ethic breaches. Michel Rampel said today that he broke the law. Did he actually break a law? Because when you break a law, you're charged.
So what he did was
will he be charged?
So they said that he was found guilty of trying to use his office and influencing. It is actually breaking the law to do that. It's
probably like a speeding ticket, though. He'll probably pay $100 or $150 if he doesn't pay his fine right away, right? If he shows up in court.
You're probably right, man. It's probably something that trivial, which is really unfortunate because
I don't think he interfered with trivial though. I don't think it's.
I hope it's not.
It's not trivial.
Position?
It's not trivial.
No. I'm talking about
the effect it's going to have on the election. That effect is going to be real.
I used the word trivial in the context, Kelly, that Adriel said it's probably $150 fine. And if it is something ridiculously low like that, ridiculously trivial, that's a travesty. Because
that's
as Michelle,
it's not going to be like a big cost. There's not going to be we're not going to throw the prime minister in jail. Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah, I know, but it's this is the kind of corruption that should have him impeached. If whatever our term for it is.
I would settle for thrown out. You know, it's
No,
it's in close
no.
proximity. Yeah.
He's going to get thrown out in October regardless. So if nothing happens because of this, and he gets thrown out in October, then he just, he gets off scot-free. Like, he interfered with the criminal justice system of our country. He's the leader of our country, and he violated ethics. He broke the law. He should be thrown out of office. He is not a leader. He does not deserve to have the highest job in Canada if he's interfering for his own personal interests to help protect his riding. Like, it's as corrupt as you can get. He should be gone.
Yeah,
We're not
it's
talking
even
about
like,
playing.
You didn't break the law to like save an organ like that. You broke the law to save an ultra corrupt company.
Right, who is bribing government officials in another country with prostitutes. And then he attacks Raybould. He fires Jody because she won't play ball because she has a conscience. He should be gone.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll be good for gun owners. This will be the third time that the federal Liberals have lost on the Control platform, and we're getting ever more efficient at beating them every single time they bring this up. Like, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose the rural ridings based on if they bring up some gun control platforms. So it'll be good.
And I love this,
Be a third
Adriel.
time.
Like, after the SNC Level-In scandal, somebody said, "Huh, that's interesting. Usually the Liberals make it into a second term before they have a scandal. Like, they couldn't even get through a term, right? It was the sponsorship scandal that got us 10 years of Harper. They finally get back in, and immediately, before the first 4 years are up, they're embroiled in another scandal. Liberalism is like a disease, man. It's just, oh, man. Move on.
All right, let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. I was trying to look up what the penalty was, but I don't know. Okay,
It's
whatever.
a speeding ticket.
It's not a speeding ticket.
You guys want to buy a legal Canadian AK?
Yes.
Yes.
Wolverine has Velmets. They've
Eh.
got the
Oh, yeah.
Velmet Petra.
$6,000?
No. 3,500.
Oh.
3,595 really, but I mean, who's counting that? This is in 30-06. It's an AK of sorts.
Sorts.
It's
Okay.
horrible.
Got them legal AKs.
Can we put a pistol grip on this and like a shoulder thing that goes up?
Well, as long as you do it after you buy it and not as it comes into the country.
It's 30-06? A 30-06 AK? Crazy.
Okay. So when you can hunt moose with your AK.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen these before, but you can actually get the Bursa Thunder from High Run Guns. They're quite silly looking, but they have a version that has a little bit of a longer barrel, and apparently it is Canada legal.
All right. What is the Bertha Thunder?
It's a little Bursa pistol.
4.2 says barrel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they have one that's 4.25. Anyways,
No idea.
Yeah.
So it's a pistol.
it's a pistol.
Yeah.
That's typically
it was the first
prohibited.
time I've seen one available in Canada, so I thought I'd bring. Let's see here. Wolverine's got a bunch of Keltec stuff again, so if you're looking
Who
for
cares?
a KSG or RFB or RDP, not an RDP, RDB.
That's
Anyways.
the 223 bullpup, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, they got some of those. Trevor says he doesn't care.
Don't care.
There's going to be some sort of CZ sale starting tomorrow. Now
That matters.
CZ's map pricing, so you can't get a sale that'll be advertised across these different dealers. So CZ sets the pricing for all of Canada. Now they set them pretty low. Like if you look at the P10 or or even the Shadow, the pricing is actually super competitive.
Yep.
So I don't know. Take a look at your local dealer that's got CZs because they probably will be participating in this sale, and it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was gonna get these mag extensions, but actually the sale ended yesterday, so no.
And you realize that it was a ripoff?
Not yesterday. Yesterday, okay, so let me pull this up so everyone can see. Yesterday, S&J Hardware had a buy one get one sale, and these MagX LAR mag extensions would have been $40 for two.
Okay,
I'd do that
would've
deal.
been all right.
I'd do
Yeah,
that deal.
I do that deal too.
I was watching my video from the last 3-gun match, and there's like I'm pulling the mags out of my rifle to get them out of there quickly and reliably, and I should be just looking at an extension, especially aluminum like one like this, because that would take the mag out for me. It would drop free, right?
Yep.
So when I click on this, it still says that it's still buy one get one free.
Yeah, I know. That's what fooled me too. But then I looked at the BOGO not there anymore. And I looked on CGN and it said it ended yesterday. He forgot to edit the text.
Okay. All right. And that's everything that is new in guns this week. Let's go on to the main topic.
So welcome to the show, Rod Geltaka. Now, Rod, one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you today was we just saw this report that came out from the CCFR, this media bias report. Can you tell us about how this started and how we got here?
So obviously the CCFR is kind of a different animal. We do different things than I think our community has done for, its history. So one of the things we like to do is we like to complete our arguments. So this is sort of the concept behind why we do explainer videos and all the rest of that stuff, because basically it's easy for us to get on, let's say we're on Twitter, God forbid, such a toilet. But we're on social media of any type. And we say, well, there's a clear bias against gun owners, let's say on CBC. And then someone says, well, do you have any proof of that? And what's our answer, right? It's like, well, I've been around, like that's not a real answer. And also, if we wanted to complain about the way that we're treated as a community, we have to have something to go to CBC with, not simply a baseless accusation. So there was a series of different reports. I'm not sure whether we're going to call them studies or reports. We can kind of get into that after, because there's an interesting story behind that. For now, we'll call them reports. The first report we wanted to do, so that we as a community just have a little bit more legitimacy, I guess, right, in our claims, was the media bias report, and that's the one that you read.
Yeah, I think that you could read some of the different, especially like the opinion pieces on the CBC, but also like not only the opinion pieces, some of the regularly reported stuff, and you could find stuff that was wrong. One of the ones that we saw really frequently, even for months afterwards, was the 50% of guns are from legal Canadian firearms owners. Stat that kept getting repeated over and over and over again, even after it was debunked, and even after we looked at the data and it didn't say that. And so that one was very clear. But then there was also, okay, are all the articles like this, or are most of the articles like this? And I think that the approach that you guys took on this was really interesting. Was this just something that one of the volunteers did, or is this something that like someone who's really enthusiastic about this did?
So about 3 months ago, we hired somebody as that's not exactly accurate either. A few months ago, we hired someone to do admin tasks, and his name's Brandon Wallingford. Mm-hmm. And Brandon has a degree in history, and he's overqualified to do admin tasks. So we wanted to, I looked at that situation and went, well, he's politically active. He's a gun owner. He understands this topic. He's got a good educational background. Let's just hopefully get to a point where we can hire an administrator to do the things we wanted that done, and then we can have a researcher, because that's something I've wanted for a while. Mm-hmm. Because I keep running into the situation where I'm debating with somebody, or I have to go, testify at the House or testify at the Senate or talk to a politician and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, what are the figures behind here? And where's that in the criminal code? And all of this extra information, it's a ton of work to make sure that I don't say anything inaccurate. I rarely do, but it takes a lot of work to get there. So I thought, I think our community really needs a researcher who is employed by someone, therefore answerable, mm-hmm. To, and has a certain expectation of production. And so I outlined a few projects that my dream projects, if they got completed. One of them was a media bias study. And mm-hmm. So Brandon's been with us about 3 months. He has completed that study, and he has a few more in the queue as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the like you mentioned that, like, just back up when talking to people. But the other thing that we're lacking both on the pro-gun side and the anti-gun side, it's just data and insights from a Canadian perspective. Yeah, we can look at American studies, but even those aren't that good. I was looking at one from the NRC in the U.S., and they were examining when right to carry laws came into effect in the States. And their conclusion at the end, keeping in mind they had a lot of natural experiments to work with, a lot of data to work with, they couldn't make a determination at the end. There was no strong impact from a lot of the states going to right to carry on rates of violence and that kind of thing. So they just said, can't tell, can't see if there's any difference. It's hard to pull insights from this thing. So it's good that there is a group out there that's putting an effort into putting out some decent data and some decent insights. This data didn't exist, right? The CBC's not going to do this of their own volition and say like, boy, we're getting a lot of complaints from gun owners. Maybe we should do a study on to see whether we're biased. They're not going to do that. Someone else has to do that.
Absolutely. And somebody has to do it. And I think that, this is one of those projects that's going to outlive the CCFR, right? So the CCFR and its members, we do a lot of this cutting edge stuff that no one's even thought of doing to, again, further legitimize our community. Like when we make a claim, it's founded in evidence. So I think the media bias study was important for that. And I think how we did it was, it's easy to talk about these projects and it's hard to do them. Mm-hmm. So my vision actually for that project was that we would take articles from 4 of the major media outlets and scour all of them and come up with a scale and determine whether there's bias or not. But the amount of work that it took just to do the CBC was 2.5 months of work for one guy all day, every day. And it was 900 articles, like I said in the video, if you had seen the video that I did. But yeah, I just think it's a really worthwhile project, not only just to make sure that the things that we say are demonstrably true, because I'm always calling everybody else on that. Mm-hmm. But also now we can take CBC to task. So we'll be contacting the ombudsman for CBC, and we'll contact the CEO of CBC and maybe even a few MPs and just ask them if there's any interest in providing fair coverage to all Canadians, or is this just something that we're going to be saddled with the cost and it's a kind of a rogue, pseudo agency. And, whatever that answer is, I just want to know the answer. I don't want any more lies. So.
Yeah, I think it's an important counterpoint. So we've been dancing around it. What did the media bias report say? What was it? What was in there? Did it confirm our beliefs? How strong was the bias that we saw?
Well, I don't want to do a study like this and then end up using hyperbolic language myself, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to be really careful. And what Brandon and I agreed as far as how we would define the bias, and all the numbers are there and all the data is there. You can read it. But we just say a strong bias and anti-gun bias. And how the study was done, how do you figure out if there's a bias or not, right? So that's kind of tricky. So what we did was we combed through, and when I say we, I did, 10 articles, and then Brandon did 890 of them. So when I say we, I really mean Brandon. Mm-hmm. He's the one that had to do all this work, but basically really read all 900, come up with a word count, assign how many words were just news, which there's a lot of just news. The majority of statements and words belong to, it's just the CBC just, telling you what's going on. Yeah, just reporting, straight reporting.
Yeah, I saw that in the data as well. There are a lot of reports on just there was a shooting and that's it. It's just more of a fact-based, right?
That's what they should be doing, right? Mm-hmm. Not dictating our values to us. So, and then there was word counts to people that were pro-gun control, quotes and sentiments, and then of course people that represented our community or counterpoint, and then that's the way that we were able to tabulate some value, is by the number of words. So I think it was around 2 to 1. It is a 50% or whatever, I guess you might, however you want to represent it, right? Twice as much bias towards gun control as representing the other side. Mm-hmm. I thought it would be more, actually. I thought, because in a lot of these articles I look, and it's the whole article is, here's what happened. Here's what we think of the CBC. Oh, look, here's Wendy Sukier. Oh, and we'll get Heidi in there. And oh, here's a quote that we pulled off another story abroad, and it's a one-liner. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of them like that, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. Yeah.
So I was surprised that the results were as good, I guess. But overall, it's still awful. And the other big point that I mentioned in the video is that 73% of all of the stories that were published by CBC had a reference in them somewhere of the United States. And that is really misleading. And some of those stories are about the US, that's fine. But, they're just like America, 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 America. and because they have a high crime rate with firearms there, and they're trying to make it look like this is what we don't want to be, and we're heading down that path. And don't forget about America and the NRA. And it's again very dishonest.
Yeah, I see that a lot when I argue with people online. Is they frequently think that we're similar to America, and we don't want to be similar to America. So they want more. I think, for example, like they want more handgun control. But then you ask them, okay, cool. What kind of handgun control do you think we have right now? And they don't really know. They don't really know the restrictions that we're under right now. They don't really know the crime statistics of what's done with legally owned handguns versus illegally owned handguns, and what that trade-off between property rights and freedom versus security. And they're often really outweighing it. So I think that getting these kinds of studies out and getting some more facts into people's hands is definitely going to be a big help for us.
Yeah, for sure. And concerning that argument in general, the problem is no one cares about freedom anymore. They don't see the value. A lot of these people, are probably live very structured lives. Either they live in a downtown core somewhere, and their idea of freedom is I can go 24 hours to a Starbucks. I can order anything I want, and they're going to make it for me. And unfortunately, they don't even know where that coffee comes from. So, these are the people you're trying to argue with. They have no idea what people why they would own a gun. And that's, we do a lot of work trying to help people understand that as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misconceptions, and then they see the states and they're like, oh, well, we must be something like that. We got to ban handguns, boy, like it's a really big problem. But they don't understand that no, we already have like some pretty hefty restrictions in place here in Canada, and Canada is not the U.S. both in firearms law and in crime and homicide and that kind of thing. Even if you were to take firearms completely out of the equation, we're still not going to be at the rate of crime that's in the U.S. So we don't need to enact all of these freedom restrictions on us for no particular reason, right? Or for very little return.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, so that was one other interesting thing that was in that report. There was the recording of how much American bias there was in Canadian reporting, how much focus there was on America, and how much they were showcasing American crime, American gun laws for what's supposed to be a state-sponsored media company that should be focused on Canada, right?
Yep, they have a very clear agenda. But this isn't the last study that we're doing. We actually have more stuff coming out in the even 2 weeks from now.
Oh, coming up quick. Can you give us any spoilers, or are you going to like hold the surprise?
Yes, I will give you spoilers. So the next study. So we've got the media bias one. Oh yeah. The next study is a really, really useful one. This is a report regarding the 19 studies that the spin doctors for protection from guns continually say the evidence is clear and overwhelming that we need to ban handguns and assault weapons. And then they post 19 studies over and over again, these 19 studies. And I'm like, and this actually was part of when I had the idea of the studies, right? I'm like, I wonder if they've even read them. And I wonder how compelling they are, because I was with Najma Ahmed in the Senate. Tracy Wilson was there. Staffer Steve was there that day. And Najma Ahmed brought a stack of paper. This is one of the things that Wendy does this too, right? They bring this big stack of paper as if they're going to look anything up when they have 5 minutes, but it doesn't matter. It's all for effect, right? So they put this big stack of paper, and she said, I have a stack of studies, and she slams her hand down on the papers, a mile high that, supports our position on blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, who wrote those studies? What exactly was studied? What were the conclusions, and who paid for them? And,
are they peer reviewed? Did they go through any scrutiny? Well,
we're doing a report on those 19 studies with an abstract on each one of them to answer all of those questions, and kind of even a further sneak peek. Brandon is about, I'd say about 90% through that project. So we're going to start trickling this stuff out like within weeks. And this is going to be devastating, because not only are we going to have answers to all of these, so-called, conclusive studies, but I'm going to make videos for selected ones, and we're going to make little individual reports for selected ones. So that way, every time they post that, so I was like, boom, there's a video and a full report, a full analysis of all of those studies to show that none of them support your position on handguns and so-called assault weapons. So
yeah, none of them reliably do. I've looked at a couple of them that they've quoted, and they're hefty reads. But when you get down into the methodology or the process that they used to come up with their insights, some of them are pretty fatally flawed. Some of them have like major jumps in logic where you're like, whoa, you just defined this thing over here, and now you're pulling this insight from this definition. Not looking at overall homicide rates instead of gun homicide rates, right? That kind of thing. And I think that Brandon's probably found a whole pile of that kind of stuff with those studies. Or he's found ones that are a little bit more agnostic. They just pull up the data and they may be very inconclusive in terms of the results, right?
So the overall summary of this, and it's quite interesting, is in there you have the pediatrician study. Remember, a child is injured with a gun every day in Ontario.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's if child describes somebody that's 24 years old, and you count BB guns,
Paintball
airsoft,
guns.
and paintball, right? So
yeah,
this is exactly what I'm trying to dig out, right? And so anyway, overall, here's the consensus. So Brandon did go through all of these studies, and he was also helped by Dr. Langman as well. So Kalen Langman put in a little bit of help on that too. So we really appreciate that because he's really good with statistical analysis. And we found that most of them were bunk, and even a couple of these so-called studies were actually editorials by doctors that used in the references. They were using other editorials by other doctors as references. And so we're
proof because my buddy wrote it.
Yeah. And so we're uncovering all of this stuff. Now, there was one study that Brandon said, you know what, it was really good. Methodology was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and drew some clear conclusions. And you know what, well, I'm going to use the word proved just as a placeholder for now.
Mm-hmm.
What it proved was that background checks were actually useful.
I have heard that statistic. I have heard the background checks in states can reduce homicide rate. There was an effect there. From background checks. Yep.
But here's the point. We already have them, man. We get them every 24 hours.
We already have them in Canada.
It's not applicable. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
NA. It's not applicable in Canada. We've already had that, and we've had that since the 70s. No, man. No. Nope.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, they end up. It's a useless stack of paper that's really not good for much unless you're camping and you didn't bring any toilet paper, right? And politically, this is going to hurt them because I've got all their tweets. So, we'll produce a video just like I did about the doctor's documentary that I did a little while ago. We'll produce another video and circulate that and keep posting it. Every time they try to talk, bam, you post it. And it will be how it's a big debunking video of their 19 studies and where to download all of our work and references as well. So they're not going to win the data war with us.
Yeah, the interesting thing about I hope you guys do this with your other ones, the media bias report, it came with the data. And when you downloaded it, it's just an Excel sheet. You can look at an article and it's got a number rating as to how biased it is. You click on the article, you can actually see for yourself and check it out and see if you agree. And it was very clear on the articles that I looked at that they are bang on with the number ratings on those. So I think that having that defensible, easy to understand data in behind the report really strengthened it because it really made it easy to look at it and be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, totally. And it defended it completely.
Yeah, and that was the point. We're not going to go through all this expense and all this effort and just have some op-ed or make some political cartoon. You know what I mean? No, this is hard data. We published the source data complete, so go ahead, tear it apart. Show me where we're wrong. I'd like to know. So, and then of course, it's something they never do. They just plunk down 19 clear and overwhelming, right? The consensus is clear. Me
and my friends agree, and we've all written articles about it, citing each other in a big circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's exciting stuff, and it's never going to reach its potential unless individual gun owners use it So when they make claims, just go, you know what, if you don't believe me, that's fine. I have a study right here that's fully and completely referenced, and all the source data is available to you. And most people are too lazy to go, oh yeah, let me have a look at that. But even if they do, we're rock solid, unlike our friends, the spin doctors for protection from guns.
Yeah, it's even the report, even like the wording in the report, it wasn't bombastic. It wasn't over the edge. It was really clean, really precise in the words that you guys chose, and a little bit nice. A little bit nice to the CBC in terms of the coverage that they give, you know. And it was I think that's good, because it's the report shows the data. The report makes some conservative conclusions based off that data, and it's irrefutable.
Yeah, and it reflects our approach to the debate in general, right? Where we want to be taken seriously, we want to be, you know, mature and honest, and we can't do that if we're kind of skewing our own stuff. And so Brandon did a really great job in the report. Very impressed, and I'm really excited for everybody to see the next phase of his work too.
Yeah, I can't wait. This other stuff sounds fantastic. Maybe to just jump topics a little bit. You guys just finished up with the Ultimate Choice contest. How'd that go?
It was overwhelmingly fantastic. It was the biggest contest we ever did. We ran out of patches. If you took part in the contest, you know that if you donated $25, $50, $75, or $100, you got a certain number of sets of patches. And we ran out of patches and still had 270 people, I think, because the whole thing was while supplies last, and supplies ran out. Yeah, it didn't last, because we never expected that we'd have more than 3,500 people enter the contest, but we did. And so we're actually, rather than say to those people, sorry, it was while supplies last, we're going to actually make another run of those patches and make sure everybody gets them, because they deserve them. And it's really meaningful, the support that people have given us. And I made a video about this, and I said this before as well, that what's very meaningful for me is that people approve of what we're doing. And, you know, because the way that the CCFR operates and the things that we do have never been done before, right? Nobody made a TV show before. Nobody does, you know, these kinds of studies in-house before. All of the different things, you know, nobody ever made explainer videos. You know, nobody ever did a press conference in center block twice. You know, nobody did a lot of the things, and I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if gun owners approve, but that's one way that gun owners are showing us that we're doing good work, and I really appreciate that. It sort of shows that we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and experimenting with a lot of this stuff, but you're not at 100% approval. I saw a tweet from Canada Gun Control, and they were questioning why you guys only did CBC with this media thing.
Oh man, I wanted to do all of the outlets, but wow, and I got. You know, it's funny because Brandon and I went through this journey together, and I'm thinking, well, you know, if it's like, you know, 2 minutes and 30 seconds per, you know, article, and, you know, trying to do the math on this, I thought, oh yeah, we're going to do all of the media outlets. Well, it turns out the CBC did 900 articles in 1 year. And I'm like, I don't think that this is going to be possible.
Yeah. A lot of the other ones use articles from the AP and that kind of thing as well. So
they're syndicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now you have to rely on your memory to go, oh, I'm going to exclude that one because I saw it back 1,600 articles ago. I remember that one. I'm going to exclude, it was too much. So hopefully Canada Gun Club or whatever that guy was.
No, they were gun control. They're anti-gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they were mad that we'd only done CBC. It's like, well, you could pay and we could do the other ones.
Where did you see that anyway, by the way?
Oh, I think it was on Twitter. I saw it on
stay
Facebook
off of there,
as
man.
well.
It's bad for you.
Oh, Twitter's horrible. Oh my God, it's horrible. What a terrible place. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I mean that's where the fight is.
Yeah. No, it was just a joke. They were anti anyways. It was and they were criticizing that we only did CBC. But it's a full study of the CBC over a year. Like it's still a totally valid point in time, right? It's yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Anything else coming up from the CCFR in the next little while that we should know about?
You know what? There's so much going on, and I'm not involved with everything. I'm sort of in my own little silo because I have so much work to do to fulfill what my vision of what I should be doing is. Like it's just a tremendous amount of work, and it's detailed work. So some people think that I know everything that's going on in the CCFR. I don't. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I know that Tracy Wilson has been traveling almost from coast to coast doing just a ton of stuff, town halls and coaching MPs or people that are candidates that want to become MPs, taking people to the range, reporters, the shadow ministry. Remember that story? She's just running her butt off, and everybody's working really, really hard. And you know, when you see output like this from an organization like the CCFR, a lot of people have to work really hard to produce all that material. But yeah, I don't know what everybody else is up to, but those are the things on the horizon for me and my team.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate it, Rod, and I can't wait to take a look at this report that you guys put out, the next series of them.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Rod, for coming on and talking to us about the media bias. And we hope to have you on again soon. Why don't we go back to listener feedback? Is there anything on YouTube? Have you guys been following it?
No, I got kind of quiet.
I know.
Just,
Trevor
other
Grundy
Trevor on there.
Yeah.
He has declared or decreed that should I vomit at his house during his 40th birthday party, it has to be in the laundry sink in the basement. I'm willing to work with. Yeah, I'll work with him under those conditions. I find his terms agreeable.
I think like a laundry sink is nice and big, right? It's a huge target. You got lots of room.
I was gonna say,
does he have the
you're
hose?
not gonna miss.
Can you like squeeze the water into your mouth, like aim the water hose, like the cleaning wand kind of thing?
Yeah,
no?
I don't know if he's got the sprayer nozzle, but that's what it needs.
Yeah. You puke all over the place. You're like, oh, you just hit yourself with that.
Yeah,
Back
shower.
to the party. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
perfect.
You can strip off and shower in the tub too.
He's got a whole
it's a little
refrigerator.
bit small for that. But...
Do you think you'll mind if I invite people like here on the podcast? If you're like in Northern New Brunswick, you want to come hang out and
I'm sure that he'll love it.
Yeah, like come meet the Rescue Coast Gun Club Gunnies, right? Like Fingers is going to be there, Muffin is going to be there. We have Royalty will be there. There's going to be a Queen. Tresca doesn't really have one. We call her Trisket behind her back. She doesn't listen, so that's fine. And then there's the Machine. The Machine is going to be there. So you want to come check out the Machine. Yep.
Everybody's going to show up now because they want to meet these people.
They should meet these people. These are the awesomest people going.
Awesomest?
Awesomer? I don't know. Whatever. They're cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's nothing else on the YouTubes.
We're a day ahead right now in our main topic.
I know. Listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearm refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearm accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. You can also check him out on Facebook and on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram, and you should too.
You should follow us all on Instagram.
Yeah, you should follow us all. And Trevor, why don't you read this one from Irish Will?
All right. Irish Will says, "Hi, Slamfire hosts. It's me, Irish Will. Just emailing to say thanks for the patches. It was greatly appreciated. As a recent that's right. See, Irish Will got them. As a recent immigrant to Canada, I'm slowly building the firearms collection. I own an MP9 Savage MSR 15 Recon and have recently been talked into buying a magazine-fed Grizzly shotgun. Get talked out of that, would you? Your show is one of my select sources for Canadian firearms information and banter. It was a pleasant surprise to find out we had a mutual friend, aka Gallon. Although I'm not sure that's something positive. That's right. Yeah, Gallon told me about. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the life and times of Gallon are interesting to say the least, and he's an awesome guy. He makes New Brunswick sound like a lot of fun, and I almost wish I'd moved there instead of Nova Scotia. That being said, we do have one of the highest bar and distillery ratios per capita in the world, so it's not all bad. Anyway, keep up the good work. I'll keep listening. Have an awesome day, Irish Will. P.S. Kelly's my favorite, and Trevor sucks. Well, Irish Will, I was going to let you know that where I was going to be this weekend while in Nova Scotia. Maybe I'd buy you a pint. Maybe I'd buy you a pint, but that's fine. Now you can just pitch up a rope, as my old man would say.
I like Irish Will. He's awesome. I'm going to read this one from Alex because I'm going to let Adriel read the next one. So it says, "Hey guys, watch this video on YouTube where an airsofter from Japan was able to use the skills from the game and implement it into his first time shooting guns in America. Really amazing to see this kid shoot. Maybe a topic of discussion. So he sent us the link as well for YouTube. And it's just basically a guy that's using, he's an airsofter.
Play like 10 seconds of it for everyone.
Sure.
Not for you, but
There have been a couple of professional airsoft players that have made the transition into IPSC. In certain countries where you're not allowed to have firearms, IPSC Air is actually a discipline of IPSC. It's all the same things that we do, but they use airsoft guns instead of real guns. They use the same belts, same holsters, and those airsoft guns cost as much as their real counterpart.
Yep.
So they learn the game and the fundamentals on an IPSC pistol or an IPSC airsoft gun, and so they get really good at it. They learn to move, they learn to break down stages, they learn all that stuff in airsoft. When they make the transition to a firearm, I mean, they're just light years ahead of someone who just starts with an actual firearm.
Yeah. I would trigger. They can practice trigger pulls, dry fire, but hey. Okay. Cheers from Alex. All right, Adriel, why don't you read this one from Brian?
From Brian. Hey guys, I've been listening for a couple years now, including the podcast back to episode 118, the earliest available on Google Music, and always enjoy the show. I was hoping to meet everyone at Drumheller. Alas, fate intervened and I was unable to make it. Hopefully I'll be able to head out to the Podcart Charity Shoot 2020. Seems more likely I'll be able to meet more of the New Brunswick local characters that turn up in Trevor's This Week in Guns Hour anyways. Thanks for the years of great content. Speaking of which, I wanted to suggest a topic, muzzleloader hunting. I've always been a target shooter, but recently started thinking of getting into hunting. Here in Manitoba, we have early muzzleloader deer season, and the Manitoba Wildlife Federation arranges mentored hunts. Last year, they seemed to only have them in muzzleloader season, and I'm hoping to participate, but have no experience. If you guys have any thoughts or experience, or know of a potential guest, thusly informed, regarding entry-level muzzleloader options, loose powder versus pellet, sabot versus projectile choices for whitetail hunting, and anything else relevant you can think of, any knowledge will be much appreciated. Thanks again, Brian in Winnipeg.
I've reached out to a buddy of mine in Winnipeg who's a hunter, works for Cabela's, to see if he can track down not only a muzzleloader hunter, but a Manitoban muzzleloader hunter. So yeah, it's in the works. That one time you could get a deer with like a bunch of different styles of firearms. You could get your, I think they called it a primitive tag. You could use a bow or a muzzleloader. Like there was a time when if you played your cards right, you could take 5 whitetails in and around Winnipeg in one season.
Yeah, there was a time when you could take 3 in a lot of places in Alberta. But primitive here, there's only a few wildlife management units that allow muzzleloaders at the same time as archery and other primitive. So for us, it's the same as rifle season, so there's not really an advantage. I have been muzzleloader hunting a couple of times, but not a heck like that was like 10 years ago. Cool. Yeah, okay. So I have no experience, so we need to pull someone in to to be the expert on this, definitely.
Yep.
Let's see if we can find somebody.
Working on it.
Yeah, Brian. And Brian is also a Maple Seed rifleman. Did you know that?
Did he do it with a muzzleloader, though?
No, not yet.
You couldn't tell. It just annihilates the middle of the target. And it's like, I don't know. I guess they're all 5s.
Yep. All right. So if you'd like to send an email to the show, send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Let us know what topics you would like to hear on the show.
It's a brilliant idea, Adriel. I'm going to start shooting maple seed with my 4570.
Yeah.
I'm not, though.
Think of all the lines you cut.
All the lines, right? It's like when I used to shoot archery, I used to shoot it with the fattest arrow possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Podcast reviews. We don't have any, but we pulled up one from August 6, 2013. It's from Bolivar. I think it's the first one that he sent to the show. It says, my second favorite podcast. Matt and Trevor babble about guns while the cerebral Owen sits in the back and plots his domination of the world. Okay, well, maybe that's not exactly how it happens.
No, that's how it happened.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Be funny and mention Trevor. Trevor bought it in 1911.
That's hilarious.
That's his first review. That was Brian Bolivar, and Brian Bolivar went by Bolivar 9611.
The Conquistador.
The Conquistador. That was from 2013. That was like 6 years ago. That's a long time ago. He's been listening for a while. Shout outs, guys. Trevor, who do you got?
To my squad mates from this past weekend in the Miramichi. What an awesome group of people to shoot with. Most of them I've shot with on occasion before. Some of them I was shooting with for the very first time. And I gave a little impromptu fundamentals course in the safety area to try and help a couple of my squad mates improve their grip and technique.
Mm-hmm.
I was giving away the Furlaci tattoo. And one guy, he shot his steel stage clean. He was like, "That was all you." I was like, No, I didn't shoot the gun. You shot the gun. Well, I just did what you told me. So anyway, we had a lot of fun, and some people learned some stuff, and myself included. And the match was awesome, and my squad was awesome, and I had a great time. And I hope to shoot with any of those people again soon.
Cool.
Adriel, what about you?
Same thing. We had our
Stop
RO,
copying me.
Our RO at this 3-gun match ran it with plates the whole day, like proper trooper division plates. And the guy, I think he might be 150 pounds, maybe.
Wow.
And he ran the whole thing ROing in plates the whole day. Kudos.
Luke Giroux did that at a Daniel Shaw class once too. Ran the plates all freaking day long. Like, man.
You could have
Was it the same Daniel? Was it the same Daniel Shaw where you had to carry people as well?
Well, we did that every year. Yeah.
So
it would have been the same year. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. The best was Rick though.
I know.
Yeah.
I miss
Rick,
him.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to Tracy, Kelly, Greg, Gord, Lori Lynn, as well as Andrew, Andre, Colin, and the rest of the crew that helped out on Sunday. It was a fantastic event. As I said, it was probably the most well-run, best planned, fantastic ladies' day I've ever been to. So congratulations. It was a great success. 80 women are now shooters, and they loved it. So good job. That's it for that. Patreon supporters, we have a new one, Blaise Morin. We usually don't use the last name, but he's sponsoring us for $3.57. And guess what? He's a brand new daddy. He just had a baby.
Cool.
Yeah, just had to tell you, everybody. So Blaise went to Restigouche to shoot the maple seed, and he immediately turned around and met up with us at Woodstock as well and shot the maple seed there too. So
he's hardcore, man.
He is. He's from Quebec. He's waiting for us to get to Quebec, I think. So
post his address so I can.
Yeah, he usually watches, listens too. So let's make sure that you email the show.
Send me the thing.
Yeah, so we can send out your stuff. I think I maybe gave him some too. So, but anyways, we'll send him out some stuff. And I just wanted to say congratulations on being a new daddy. Oh, one thing we forgot to do in shout outs was Trevor. We forgot to say happy birthday.
Oh, for other Trevor, yeah.
Yes. So why don't we say happy birthday to the other Trevor? Everybody, happy birthday,
Hey.
Trevor. Better Trevor. Adriel.
Happy birthday.
There you go.
There we go.
Happy birthday, dude. I know you said the party starts at 7 or 8, but I'll be there at 4.
He's starting the drinking at 4:00. Okay.
I'll probably start the drinking before I get there. I'll have someone take me.
That's an excellent idea. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So not only can you sponsor the show by going to Patreon and clicking on there and giving us some of your hard-earned cash, you can also help us out by going to Cabela's. But since you're going, go through our website. Click on the link there. Shop through Cabela's, and they'll give us a little bit of a kickback. We also want you to join one or more of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR. We really suggest the CCFR. Join the CCFR. And check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We have a post over there. Chat with us. We'd like to hear from you there. Last week's episode, forgot to do it. Sorry, I was busy. And I'll do that one with this one as well. Also, give us a like on Facebook. Go over to the Facebook page. We're at 2,191 likes. Yay! That's pretty good.
Great.
And
More
that's
than
it.
any orphanage.
You betcha.
All right.
Those poor orphans. So, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night. I'm going to go play with my 7.5 inch now.
Just turn your video off before you do that.
Fair. That's a reasonable request.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Trevor, our 3-gun match. I gotta change how stages are approved and how they're run.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.